Now to another presidential speech that has come under fire tonight from angry parents, even though the president has yet to deliver it. Tomorrow, President Obama will address the nation's school children as millions of them go back to school. Conservative critics are asking, what's the real agenda? While others ask, what's the difference? Republican presidents have done this before. David Curley's in Washington tonight. David, good evening.
Good evening, David. White House officials today are calling this an Animal House food fight, a sad day, this debate. And they say it's intruding on the president's attempt to try and motivate school kids in their efforts to get better grades. Still, the White House took an unprecedented step today, releasing the text of the speech a full day in advance to try and quell some of those concerns.
There was no holiday from controversy for President Obama and his plan to speak to students tomorrow.
And yes, I'm going to have something to say tomorrow to our children, telling them to stay in school and work hard, because that's the right message to send.
Conservatives questioning lesson plans which called for students to write how they could help the president challenged the White House.
Is the president pushing a hidden agenda onto America's youth?
The lesson plan was changed, even though 18 years ago, President George H.W. Bush asked basically the same question.
Write me a letter about ways you can help us achieve our goals.
Still, a number of schools decided not to show the speech. At a Labor Day picnic in Virginia today, some parents wondered, why the fuss?
I have no problem with it.
I don't see anything wrong with the president giving them a pep talk about education.
But others still worry.
I don't want them being indoctrinated either way.
What is it that you're concerned about the president talking to students?
That he might push his agenda, the health care, things like that.
In the speech, Mr. Obama will talk about responsibility, telling students to do your part, get serious this year, and that their education will, quote, decide nothing less than the future of this country. We showed the speech to parents at that picnic.
We'll review it, and I guess we'll decide then what we're going to do.
The most vocal opposition last week came from Florida Republican Chair Jim Greer.
That is not my and my wife's vision of what America should look like.
Today, he read the speech.
The speech tomorrow is a speech that any president should give, and my kids will be listening to it.
While the president may have neutralized the opposition with the release of this information, this is just another example of the growing partisan divide in this country over politics and social issues. And for a candidate who promised to change the tone in Washington, you'd have to say the president's grades so far aren't very good.